Okay, I'm Jacob Neff. I'm a senior here at Bridgewater College and a resident on campus as well.
And what does campus community mean to you?
To me, it's more so something you feel. Campus community can be anything between people saying hello to each other on campus when they notice that they're passing each other, or someone going out of their way to hold a door. But it also, to me, is something unique to Bridgewater. Something I think that's funny that we do is cut across the lawns and create our own paths, even though there are sidewalks there as well. So there are little things that really make up campus community at Bridgewater. Events like the Christmas extravaganza that we're having with Dr. Bushman, the lighting of the lights, these little traditions and other such things really add up to make what a campus community means to me.
What does campus community mean to you?
Nothing.
Hi everyone, so I'm Celine, I am 20 and I come from France. I'm in Bridgewater for a semester and it's almost done right now. I have only 2 weeks left.
And how does Bridgewater College's campus community compare to another university that you've been to?
So I think it's very different, especially from my university in France. We have the feeling of belonging. For instance, I know that I'm sticking with a lot of new people and I have a lot of new friends, and I think this feeling of belonging, of belong to something, it's very important, especially when you are an international student.
Excuse me, what does campus community mean to you?
I mean, it's fine. I'm just trying to graduate.
Sorry, I'm sick. Hey, I'm Jacob. I'm a senior here at Bridgewater College. I transferred after some time off from Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU. Sorry, it's been a while. My college experience, I started back in 2009, so I've definitely had some time off and in the workforce. So I've kind of seen the difference between being on campus and in the workforce and trying to meld them both. I also commute as well. I live in Stanton's, about 28-minute drive, so I get to experience that too.
And can you talk a little bit about your experience on a bigger college campus versus what you're seeing here at Bridgewater?
So VCU has about, I think it's 20-something thousand. Here it's 2,000 something, I think. It's kind of interesting because you'd think that in a bigger school you could feel more isolated and alone, but it's actually, in my experience, the opposite. Because a lot of people in a small campus, they all know each other in class, and you're in a class of maybe 20, 30 kids, maybe 15, and then in a huge auditorium you've got 500, so it's just always anonymous.
Yeah. So what does campus community mean to you?
To me, it means different groups and clubs that get together and are able to share their ideas and share goals that they have.
Hi, I'm Chloe Ferguson, and I am a resident.
Do you think Bridgewater College has a strong campus community?
I think we do. I think we just need to work on including others as well as breaking down some of those walls. I think because they're self-imposed, I feel like, because people hang out with people who they're comfortable with. So I think we have a strong one, but I think we need to work on openness as well on our campus.
My name is Fatu, and I'm a senior here at Bridgewater College, and I am a resident as well.
Do you feel like there's any kind of disconnect when it comes to campus community here at Bridgewater?
I think disconnects to campus community come regarding social issues, whether it be regarding race or politics or anything like that. There's just a disconnect in terms of how to go about certain things, whether it be plans of actions or just showing support.
Excuse me, ma'am, do you think Bridgewater has a strong campus community?
Athletes do with other athletes, but not with NARPs.
And do you think that Bridgewater College has a strong campus community?
I think they do. I definitely get enough emails about all the different clubs going on that they're always looking for new people. I've tried to join a couple of them throughout my time here, but the planning, I'd say, is always the biggest downfall. Whenever there's an event planned, they never give you enough heads up. And someone who, I also have a couple jobs, so I work retail, which means you always work every weekend. So every time something's planned on the weekend or it's planned 3 days before, you just don't get to go. which is unfortunate.
My name is Federico Romeri. I'm Italian. I come from Sondrio, a small village in the northern of Italy, 2 hours by car from Milan, and I study at Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore in Milan. I'm here for a semester. I'm leaving in 10 days. Well, compared to the Italian university, it's totally different. Here the community is much more stronger, I think, because you are much more involved in everything, because in Europe, in Italy, you just go to university for classes. You don't live there, you don't do sports through your university, and so relations are very, very different. And people here is very, very friendly. Maybe just in social relations, not in professional life. We are more collaborative in professional things in Europe probably, but in social things here it's better.
Do you think Bridgewater College has a strong campus community?
Oh, definitely, I think so. Mainly because it's very diverse in terms of students. You have students like American students, of course, but a lot of students coming from other countries. So it's kind of create a lot of different ethnic group, I think, and also but still belonging to the same big group like Bridgewater students in general. So yes, definitely, I think so.
And do you think Bridgewater College has any types of disconnect when it comes to campus community?
I think yes, because of this diversity. Of course, like for instance, I'm sticking a lot with international students because I am an international student, and I'm sticking with friends like mainly come from Europe because it's easier for me to be with people coming from my own area and to stay a bit in my comfort zone, even if I have like American friends, of course. So yeah, it's kind of coming from the diversity. I think it's easier for people to just be with other people. They tend to be more close to you because of this geographical area.
And do you think there's anything that could be done to eliminate the disconnect on campus?
In terms of that, I think that, yeah, maybe creating more events can be cool, just to like maybe break a bit like all these little groups, even if I think the diversity is not I think you cannot do something very special about that. Like, diversity is still diversity. I'm French and I will be French forever, for all my life. So I think, of course, if I'm sticking with some French and European friend, it's because it's easier for me. So I don't know if there is a special things to do, but maybe creating some more events in order to just mix a bit more the students can be useful.
And do you think there's anything we could do to eliminate that disconnect here on campus?
I think a more effective way of communication, even between residents on campus and professional members as well. I just feel sometimes everyone is just all over the place in regards to what's going on. So I feel if everybody was on the same page of how to solve these issues, it would definitely resolve the problem.
What do you think can be done to eliminate the disconnect on Bridgewater's campus?
Commuters.
Hi, I'm Vincent Fodi. I'm a senior here at Bridgewater College. I used to be a student athlete and a resident on campus, but now I'm a commuter and just a student.
Would you say there's a disconnect in the Bridgewater community when it comes to athletes and non-athletes, or commuters and residents?
I would say that there's a disconnect between both. Certainly athletes just find a way to hang out with the other athletes because for the most part you see them around all the time because you have very similar schedules, whether it's going to early morning runs or lifts, or after practice getting to late night KCC for food, or going to the library and stuff like that. And certainly I'd say that people that are residents on Bridgewater definitely hang out with each other more, the other residents as well, because they see them all the time, whereas commuters are constantly driving back and forth and are really only going to school for the moments to be at school, like in classrooms or studying, whereas residents obviously live there for the whole duration of a semester.
If there is any way you think that you could improve this at Bridgewater College, what do you think you could do to do that?
I think there's a couple things you could do. One in particular would be able to incentivize more social gatherings for like sports teams and stuff. So kind of make it whereas if you swipe into games or something and you go spend times at other sports games, you know, you get a prize or something like that, or a better chance to live at Stone Village or the apartments or something like that. And that would kind of make the community feel more together. Everyone's kind of cheering for each other and stuff like that. Also, I think that to really have everyone feel more together, more off-campus living would be better because it allows for larger places to gather for social things on weekends and things of that nature. Whereas on Bridgewater, you know, a lot of times you live in a dorm till your junior year, and you can't really have a very large group of friends because there's simply just not enough space.
Excuse me, sir. What's something that you think could be done to eliminate the disconnect on this campus?
I don't know, maybe like more mixers, social events, like maybe even a wet campus, just so like all the boys and girls can get lit together and have a good time.
Do you think Bridgewater College has any type of disconnect when it comes to campus community?
I think so. I think, unfortunately, just to give you an example, as far as athletic programs are concerned, I think there's sort of a lack of support there as far as getting large amounts of people out to athletic and sporting events. I think also there's a disconnect as far as certain administration things are concerned. And you know, obviously parking is a big issue, and I feel that we've had a disconnect there between administration and students as far as how the parking thing has been handled. But from a community standpoint, I think we are a little bit disconnected in the sense that we could probably do more to increase school spirit. School spirit is something that for me has always come naturally. You know, my grades weren't spectacular in high school, and so Bridgewater has really given me the chance to improve and you know, reach a level where my grades are where I'd like them to be. So to me, Bridgewater means something else. It was another chance to grow academically. It doesn't mean that to everyone, but I think that Bridgewater means something to everyone, and I think that if we can really harness what Bridgewater means to everyone, we can sort of come together and create a larger campus feel.
Is there anything that you would do to eliminate that disconnect you were just talking about?
Interesting. So, no, I mean, the problem is limiting that disconnect is a larger problem than I'm able to handle. It really takes more people, and it's something that isn't fixed overnight. It's something that will be gradually fixed with each new class. But that's really where we need to start, is looking at how we get people in the doors, A, and also B, what we talk to people about who come to Bridgewater, and new students, about what Bridgewater means. And so I think we really have to start there, A, but also we can look to some of these traditions. I know that just before my father and mother got to campus, which is where they met back in the early 80s, there was the tradition of freshman beanies, which were these very funny little things that freshmen would wear on their heads. And I think it's sort of been, that tradition has fallen by the wayside because it's one of those things, it sort of seems like hazing, and so maybe that's not something we could do. But there were also races on beds. There were these bed races down the street in Bridgewater. Obviously something that's harder to do nowadays, but there are all sorts of traditions that were at Bridgewater that are no longer here. I think that we've either A, lost or have become uninteresting. I think a lot of those traditions are really fun, and if we were to bring a lot of those back, I think we could make bigger strides in sort of removing and at least decreasing that disconnect that I was talking about as far as campus community at Bridgewater.